I don't think... a little bit too excited because the Red Bulls were kind of not on it today?
I think it'd be foolhardy to start talking about dominance at this stage. I think this could turn out to be a classic season because there are more than one car or two cars that are quick. There's a whole lot of other teams that are right up there. Look, we saw Sauber today lead a race, and it's not fantastic. You know, who would have ever expected that? Yes, there was different tyre choices, and I know I've mentioned tyres before, but really are fortunate that we have the unpredictability of those tyres, because that's what's giving us a lot of the excitement.
We've come through to the paddock now, because obviously there was no one left in the pit lane, and you know, we're just all probably going to drive each other mad. Tyres, you've been talking about, and I had half a conversation earlier on in the... are they warm?
They're still warm. That's obviously been in the blankets as a race set of tyres.
Quite nice. In terms of qualifying yesterday, there was an issue with tyres because nobody wants to see empty track time, do they? What's the solution for that? Is it a rule that you have to put in a lap in P3, 107% or something like that? What do you think?
Well, you know, I think it's sorry, what I was going to say is to throw that to EJ, because I'd like to know, the team bosses understand this is business, is about the show. You know, it's an engineering exercise, but you need the fans there to get the sponsors excited. So when you've had this debate over the years, what do you talk about? How do you find a solution for this?
Very simple, in my opinion. Anyone who doesn't put up a competitive lap time in the last qualifying session has to start on the soft tyres. And that really clears it up, doesn't it? They will run. Make no mistake about that. But this isn't about the final qualifying. I think there's a lot of intrigue, the way that Jensen... Who's to say? Jensen starting on the hard tyres, as indeed did Vettel. We were served up a really exciting mix-max race, and that's what we don't. We don't want processions. We want different things happening to make us excited.
You're absolutely right. I've just heard some really great news that you're obviously huge Formula 1 fans if you're watching this. From Barcelona onwards, they're going to give the teams an extra tyre in P1. So that means, you know, that they're not going to be holding back. But we still need that extra rule that they've got to go and set a fast lap in
and they will hand the tyres back then immediately, yeah.
But it's, you know, but it's giving them another set then, so hopefully they'll make that. Do you think they'll make that rule? Why don't they make that rule? What's the
Gary
problem
Anderson
with it?
advocated that. That was one of his pet things. He put forward a situation, look, to get over this, what's happening is the leading teams, the top 10 cars, they are absolutely not running because they want to conserve tyres.
Look at this. Kimi having to leg it
Kimi, isn't it? Really, a
into his office. Yeah, that must have been just a couple of minutes ago near where we are. Oh, that's live apparently. No one's mobbing us, look.
Well, should we wander away? We look like we're getting ready for being packed in one of these boxes. Should we move around a little bit?
We're going in the cargo. Let's have a wander. Oh, look, there's a small mobbing.
Our old mate Ted is sitting up there. He looks as if he's got a job driving a forklift.
Well, he's got to mix and match.
Right, let's move through. Thank you. It's all right, we're not live. It's fine. Look, poor old Ted, he's driving trucks these days.
Hello, Ted.
I don't think he hears us. He's always been in his own world.
He's never been listening. How can we get through here? Let's have a look. So you've got this sort of two levels here of buildings along, and they generally have their offices along the front row, and then behind, which is where we're going to try to get to, they have more hospitality kind of units, don't they, where I watched one of the races. Well, we watched the race from, didn't we?
How many people would be happy to live in those places all year round? I mean, they're absolutely palatial.
Yeah, but that's kind of random, isn't it, at a racetrack? Let me see if I've... Oh, look, I think we've got a bit of... Right, what's going on here?
Interaction on the powers of technology. But look at the paddock now. They've got this vast area now where they lay up all these packing boxes, and by probably midnight tonight, this will be like a ghost town.
Can we grab Gary Anderson? I've just seen him. What's he doing in between these boxes? A minute, hang on. Hello? How are you? Come on in and join us. I'm sorry you haven't got your ears on.
You can't hear us, but you can borrow that mic. There you go.
That's probably good. Pinch those right. Talk all things technical to us.
Well, all things technical. I mean, the three-stop race was the best solution. Fernando drove fantastically, I think, right from the beginning. Good start, got into second position, and then took the lead when he can. So he can't argue against it. Kimi again, very, very strong. And Mercedes, a little bit more problems with the tyres than the other cars. But you know, it was a clear-cut race as far as the front end of it was concerned. But Button doing his two-stop the opposite way around looked like it could come off for a minute or two, but they just when everything came to it, they just didn't have the pace.
Right idea to try and go for the 2 stops, do something different though.
Yes, you know, when you're in a position where the car's not fast enough, you've got to do something a little bit different. Again, Sebastian Vettel there, I mean, really at the end of the race, he was very, very quick on the soft tyres. Maybe one more lap on them would have let him pass Lewis, but he just didn't have it.
What about those couple of mistakes he made? Maybe without those he could have just got past him.
Yeah, all those things. I mean, he had nothing to lose from behind, so he could afford to push the limits. I mean, he could afford to make a mistake, and he wouldn't have caught the guy in front of him, but he wouldn't have lost anything at the end. So, yeah, very, very good race. The sad thing really, I suppose, Webber looking at the wheel falling off again. That's something. We saw it with
sort
with
of
Jensen.
ironic that the wheel came off.
Well, we saw it with Jensen or potentially the wheel coming off with Jensen in Malaysia, the front wheel, but he stopped in the pit lane, and now Webber here, and we need to do something about that really, because that's not the best solution. There are locking devices on the axle there, I think as David was saying earlier, but it used to be a locking device that you had to fix manually whenever we had the refueling, and that was taken away for some reason. So that is always better, because you manually have to see the wheel nuts on first before the locking device will go into position. But again, that's been taken away now for some reason. I'm not quite sure, but it might be time to bring it back again.
Okay, I think we can have a look at a couple of pit stops now.